Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Western Wilds Survival Challenge. Now, we've got a big day for us today. We have a few things that we'd like to get done. Now, before we go anywhere outside of the tent, you'll notice there's been quite a large amount of time that's passed since the last episode. Mostly because there really isn't anything to do. We don't have any animals or anything like that to take care of. We can't cut grass. So we were more or less just waiting for our barley to grow and cutting down trees. Now, I did get quite a bit of the forest cut down, as you can see, and we're going to cut down a few more trees here before we head over to the store here, because today is the day that we're going to buy our combine. So let's go ahead and get a few trees chopped down. We just need a little bit more money to afford the combine, and if possible, if we have enough money left over and we can get enough money out of a single load of logs here, there is another item in the shop that I would like to pick up. If we go here to the used vehicle lot, there is a Massey Ferguson 4700M. This is a really good tractor. I'd like to get this guy. So we got front load attach on it. We can get all the way up to 100 horsepower. It also has the Isaria Pro attachment on it as well. It's very expensive, but it might be worth grabbing that. The only downside to this is it does not have a 3-point attach on the front, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I think it still would be worth grabbing this guy if we can. Now, in order to do that, well, we're not going to get enough money on just one load of logs to grab that, so we will probably have to trade in the old 165 here, which I would be okay with, because the longer I use it and the more I've used it over the last couple of days, as you can see, we've already racked up 4 hours on this guy. It skates around in the front, and it's just a little bit inconvenient to try to maneuver around with that. So if we can get enough money together with both the tree cutting and trading this guy in, we're going to go ahead and pick up 4700. With that, let's go ahead and get started with cutting down a few trees here. Alright, so I cut down a few more trees than I thought would fit on the trailer. That's alright. We'll get this load down to the train yard. We'll come back and scoop up the rest of this, and we'll see exactly what we got for our efforts here. Make sure that's all strapped up and ready to go. And usually when it's this full, it's really light in the back. Yeah. As I was saying. Okay. Now this is going to take me a little while to get over there if it's that light in the back, so I will see you guys once we hit the train yard. Alright, swing to the left here, see exactly how much we're going to get for this first load. Stop. Get the straps off. Alright, 12 grand for the first load. One more load to grab. And we'll see exactly how much we got out of those 5 trees. I'm going to go ahead and head back to the farm on my own. I will meet you. Oh, let's pay attention to where we're going. Man alive. Alright, as I was saying, I'll probably drive back to the farm, load the rest of that stuff up. I'll just meet you guys back here at the train yard. Alright, second load all ready to go. It is quite a bit less this time. I'm still hoping for somewhere around the $4,000 to $5,000 range. I mean, these are all sizable pieces, so hopefully they're worth still a decent price. Let's go ahead and find out. 4,300. It's pretty close. So that puts us at a grand total of 78,000, or just shy. That is definitely enough for our combine. So let's go ahead, drive back to the farm, drop this off. As far as the Massey goes, I believe we need 67,000. I think it's 67,000 for the header, the combine, and the header trailer. Now I know we don't need the header trailer, but it'll help us get the header down the road, especially between all of the construction equipment they've got parked on the side of the road. Although I haven't been up there recently. It is April. They might have moved that and started work. Well, we'll just have to we'll have to see. But anyway, I think we will still take the old Massey up there and trade that in the hopes that we will have enough. I didn't do the rest of the math in my head here, but we're gonna go on pure faith and a little bit of luck, and hopefully we'll have enough money for it. Now, the nice thing about the Rigitrack, again, is we do have that front load attacher on here, so we can use the Rigitrack for lifting the bales and pallets and such. And that Massey that we're going to pick up also has that functionality, so we don't really need this guy anymore. It was a good tractor while we had it, but it's time for it to be traded in and a new Massey to join the fleet. So I'm gonna drive this up to the shop, guys. We will see you when we get there. Alright guys, here we are. Now, I did not see any of the construction equipment on the way up here, so they must have started somewhere on the main road into the city. We'll just have to explore that at a later day. Right now, we're just far too busy to get our exploring shoes out. let's go ahead and jump in here and repair this guy and repaint, and we can get $16,000 for this guy. That's really good. That's amazing. Alright, 93,000 to spend. Alright, let's go ahead and jump over to the store here and get our combine. Now I want to buy the combine first just to make sure that we do have enough for that, because that is, of course, the main thing we came up here for. We'll scroll down here. I believe it was a Deutz. Yes, here we are. We're going to leave everything the same. Oh, actually, here we go. No extra cost. 50,000. Alright, we'll go ahead and pick up. No, we don't need crop dividers. Go ahead and pick up the header and the header trailer. And that leaves us with 26,200, which, by my recollection, is enough for us to buy the new Massey. Perfect. And that leaves us with 3,800 left. Now we're really jumping ahead here on our equipment. Really nice. Oh, and we even have a spot for a companion. That is, if we had one out in this lonely wilderness. No matter, we might find one later. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way so we can. Let's shut that off. We don't need to run all the gas out of it while it sits here. We'll get this combine header loaded up onto the trailer, and we'll get this guy back to the farm. Now, I believe that the barley will be ready in May, which will be next month, which is perfect timing to pick up the combine. I thought I could make that turn. That's all right. Detach. Looks like. Now, do I have to strap that in anywhere? It doesn't appear to be that way. Alright, must be on there well then. Alright, we'll go ahead and hook this up. I believe we can do that to the back of this guy. Yeah, there we go. And we'll have to come back for the Massey in a little bit. Alright, welcome back to the farm. Driving up here for the first time from this direction in a while. It's looking quite bare without the trees here. But that's alright. Soon this will become a yard. And we'll have a couple buildings here to break up how vast the expanse is here. Alright. And there it is, guys. A brand new combine back at Royal Ag Co. That should definitely help out. Now I think the next purchase after that is going to be a baler, because this stuff should produce straw, if I remember correctly. If not, well, we still need a baler for the grass fields anyway. So I think that'll be the next purchase here. But this stuff is growing quite well, and like I said, I believe barley should be ready in May? No. June. Okay, so we have a couple months left before we can harvest that. No matter, we still got the combine like we planned to do, which is a step in the right direction. I'm gonna go ahead and go grab the Massey Ferguson and get that back here too. It's quite a jog up there, so I'm gonna leave you guys here while I run up and grab that. Okay, go ahead and park this guy here and shut that off. Now that is what I call an upgrade. Quite happy with the purchases that we've just made. Now, before we head off to bed and pass a few more months before we can harvest the barley, I don't think we need to cut any more trees down for a while. We now have 2 sources of income that are going to be coming in here, well, not soon, but at least by the end of the year. We might still have to cut a few trees down just to get by with the expenses on the month-to-month basis until we can sell this stuff. But I did take a look at here before. Look at that. 3,400 liters in storage, as well as a couple pallets sitting at the end, which they hold 500 liters. So we should have a pretty good boost in income in January when we can sell this stuff. If we go ahead and take a look at the chart here, lettuce sells best in January, so we might as well wait. We don't have a whole lot of money, but we have enough to get by until then, and I think it's a good idea for us to wait until January to sell off this crop or product, either way. And then barley, I think, might be the same. Barley is in December, so we'll definitely have to wait for both of those. I want to try to get as much money out of the 2 crops that we have right now, just so we can maximize our profits and then maximize the ability to sell or buy more equipment. Like I said, we still need all the grassland stuff. And then from there, we'll have to decide what to do. I think it would be a good idea to get a shed and possibly upgrade our living arrangements next. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. But why don't we go ahead, we'll jump forward a few months here and see about getting the barley off of the field. So let's go ahead. I'll leave you guys here for now, and I will see you guys back here in June. Okay guys, July 1st. Looks like that field is pretty yellow, so let's go take a look here. Make sure it's ready to harvest, and if it is, we'll go ahead and jump in the combine and start getting the crop into... There we are, ready to harvest. So we'll go ahead and jump into the combine here and get going on that. We don't have anywhere to store it yet, so I'm hoping that the field doesn't have more than the yield that we can hold inside of the combine itself. If it is more, we'll have to just dump it on the ground somewhere and pick it up at a later date. I'd rather not do that, but if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. And disconnect that. And get that hooked up. Okay, that just changes that. Interesting. Alright, we'll lower this guy. We'll go ahead and get this rolling. Well, guys, I have greatly underestimated the amount of yield that this field is going to give us. I didn't think we were going to have to go dump one load of of grain, let alone 3 or 4. So that, but that is a good thing for us. I mean, that's a lot more crop and a lot more profit that we're gonna make. I just I wish I didn't have to dump it on the ground. But anyway, so we're just about done here with harvesting. Now, as you can see, we've got a lot of straw to pick up. So the next piece of equipment that we're going to have to buy is a baler. And then after that, we'll have to see what the plan is going to be. I know I keep saying we want to get lawn mowing equipment or mowing equipment, which I think is still going to be a good idea for us. Just so we can get at least some profit out of all of the grassland that's just kind of hanging out for now. So I still want to do that. Of course, the baler is, I think, the big expense in that category. So if we get a baler to pick up all of the straw out of the field anyway, we'll be maybe halfway through that. And we definitely have tractors big enough to hold mowing equipment on them at this point. So that might be the next expense after the baler. Let's go ahead and empty this here. I'm not sure at what point in time we're going to be able to get all of that equipment, but we will take a look at that in the next episode. And then after that, we can take a look at expanding some of the operations on the farm elsewhere. I'm thinking some kind of livestock would be a good idea for us. If we're producing straw and grass, it might be a good idea to start with sheep. Of course, we could also put up a cow farm as well. We're producing straw, we could produce grass, and we could produce silage if we get a bale wrapper as well. It's just another expense, but of course you got to spend money to make money. But that is one harvest done. Let me see if we can take a look at how much is here. I don't think we can, but no. Maybe in the stats. Nope, we are in multiplayer, so it's not going to give us any stats either. That's quite unfortunate. Oh, yeah, we do still have that loan, so that is another thing that we have to look at paying back as well. So right now, like I said, we can see that the greenhouses are full of water, which is good. Oh, sorry, we need to be in that menu. And then we're going to take a look at selling. Now, barley, I believe, like I said, was December. It's currently July, so it's at its lowest it can be. So we don't want to sell that right now. It's still a decent price at the train yard at $3.98. And it says it's only supposed to hit $4.64, which leads me to believe that in November and December, right around that area, we might be able to even get 500 or 600 per 1,000 liters. And I think we pulled somewhere around 18 to 20,000 liters off of that field. So that'll be a good payday, as well as selling all of the lettuce. We'll probably end up buying most of our equipment in January and February, just because that's when we're going to sell everything here. Yeah, January is a good price for this, guys. $13.79. We're actually above that at the train yard already, but like I said, it is still July, which looks like it's almost the lowest that it can be. So I'm not sure what we're going to get at the train yard for lettuce, but we do have a decent haul on that as well. If we take a look at our storage on both of them, is 5,500 liters, plus I think there's 1,000 liters at each end sitting on pallets as well. Yeah, there is. So that's, well, 12,000 liters right now, and we still have 6 months to go. So we will definitely have a decent price haul in for this stuff as well. So yeah, it looks like December is the sell date, and January, February will be the time we pick up most of our equipment. Like I said, I think we're going to go with grass equipment next, and then we can move on from there. But I'm going to leave this episode here, guys. It's been a pleasure to finally get crops in the ground and harvested. I'm quite excited about that. Hopefully it was enjoyable for you guys to watch. We'll go ahead and see you in the next video.